Game 1 of the NBA Finals.
See what we can do better, what we can do harder, what we can do with more effort, what we can do with more focus, etc.
Between the Heat and the Nuggets. Protests across the state.
We're here to make this country better.
In support of immigrants. And Caplin News is there for the royal wedding of the decade. These stories and more coming up on Newsbreak.
Hello, South Florida. I'm Hawa Ezel.
I'm Lauren Wirtz. Today is Friday, June 2nd, 2023.
Live from the Lee Caplin School of Journalism and Media in North Miami, this is Caplin News.
Series start for the Heat out in Denver as the NBA Finals is officially underway. Heat fans traveling west for Game 1 of the NBA Finals.
Caplin's Aquiles Barreto was there in Denver to catch all of the excitement.
Heat in 5, right?
Yeah.
Heat in 5, baby.
The Miami Heat and the Denver Nuggets hoping to secure the win and gain an early lead in the matchup. Outside of the Ball Arena, among a sea of blue and gold, Heat fans stood out with burning hope.
They outsized us in every position, but I feel like we can do Heat in 7. We just have that kind of grind to us this year, and so I'm excited to be here, excited to see them win.
But as the game started, some of the hope flickered away. By halftime, the Nuggets had a dominant 59-42 lead, while the Heat struggled to connect from behind the arc. Nuggets star player Nikola Jokic, a standout.
Jokic, the bully ball. But we're going to shut him down. Bam Adebayo is going to take his lunch money tonight, baby.
Unfortunately, the Heat did not finish on top this game. However, fans are hopeful the team still has a chance.
We just got to win one of two, and then we bring it back to Miami.
A stronger second half could not save the Heat. The final score of 104-93 leaves the Nuggets with a 1-0 lead heading into Game 2 on Sunday. After the game, Heat coach Eric Spoelstra spoke about his strategy moving forward.
It's going to require more. We'll get to work and see what we can do better, what we can do harder, what we can do with more effort, what we can do with more focus.
In Denver, I'm Aquiles Barreto reporting for Caplin News.
Last night, the Senate signed off on a bill that would prevent a countrywide default, suspending the debt ceiling problem. Labeled the Fiscal Responsibility Act of 2023, the bill passed through the House earlier in the week. It is set to put a cap on non-defense spending, cut some relief funds for COVID-19, and increase work requirements for food stamp recipients. President Biden states that he looks forward to placing the bill into action and will address the nation later today.
Show of support for immigrants in Florida, as Caplin's Jennifer Rivas reports. It was all a part of yesterday's Day Without Immigrants protest.
Thousands of families stand up today against what they believe could affect their lives and the state's economy. Immigrants across Florida have organized a Day Without Immigrants, choosing not to show up to work today and closing their business doors to support the protests. Thousands of people in Homestead, Orlando, Immokalee, and even people in California gathered today to voice their opposition to the proposed immigration law by Governor Ron DeSantis.
We are Hispanics. Us immigrants have been working here in Florida for a long time, trying to support our families and the progression of Florida.
They are using this Day Without Immigrants as a means to demonstrate the critical role they play in Florida's economy and to show their potential consequences if these laws are passed. Immigrants' rights organizations, community leaders, and concerned citizens are working hard to ensure that their voices are heard. Their message is clear. They will not be silenced, and they will continue to stand up for their rights.
We're all here to send a message to the immigrants in Florida that they're not alone, that we hear their plight, that we know that they're suffering, that they're being unjustly punished.
People in California have expressed their support for the Day Without Immigrants protest, emphasizing the importance of immigrants' contributions not only in Florida but across the entire nation. Their support for this process in California underscores the concerns over the proposed laws and determination to protect the rights and well-being of immigrant communities. For Caplin News, I'm Jennifer Rivas.
A huge royal wedding took place in Amman, Jordan on Thursday, and our network's Liana Butarbush was there to cover it.
Excitement fills the streets of Amman as the crowd eagerly awaits for the grand motorcade. People have gathered from all corners to show their love and their support for the Crown Prince and his fiancée. Jordan has been celebrating all week long, starting with the henna bridal party that flooded social media platforms with photos and videos of Rajwa in a breathtaking white gown adorned with an embroidered Arabic poetry verse, followed by the celebration of Jordanian Independence Day, and all leading up to the highly anticipated Big Day. The bride and groom celebrated their Islamic marriage ceremony known as Katb Kitab at Zahran Palace. They were then transported in a grand motorcade featuring striking red Land Rover convertibles across Amman to Al Husseiniya Palace, where a lavish reception and royal wedding awaited. We are overjoyed by the wedding of the Crown Prince. He is not just a member of the royal family, but a cherished son of Jordan. We're so happy. We feel like we're marrying off someone from our family. As you can see behind me, the people are out in the streets and it's very safe and well organized.
We came to watch the motorcade. We as Jordanians are immensely happy. I really want to see him and share his happiness and photograph him for myself and my family who couldn't show up. We are all gathered waiting for the motorcade. We are extremely excited and happy. And when it comes to the heritage and tradition of it all, it makes us all extremely proud.
The wedding extended far beyond the borders of Jordan, attracting distinguished guests from around the world, including U.S. First Lady Jill Biden, Kate Middleton, and Prince William, and other international royals. Their presence not only added glamour, but also highlighted Jordan's diplomatic influence.
I'm here with the people, here to celebrate like everyone else. I'm also here to remember the late King Hussein, whom I love and admire, the grandfather of Crown Prince Hussein. It is a truly historic moment.
This inclusive and grand wedding in Jordan showcases the country's commitment to unity and cultural diversity. Traditional dances and vibrant street parades reflect Jordan's tapestry, while strengthening the national pride and identity.
It will be the greatest wedding in the history of mankind, mark my words. We will be the first one there to celebrate. We are extraordinarily excited. There will be a motorcade, there will be a live concert with 7 famous artists, there will be firework, there will be a drone show, amazing festivities. God bless our king.
As the celebrations continue, Jordan looks at a promising future, embracing change while honoring its heritage. Congratulations to Jordan's royal family. I'm Leon Abu Sarbush reporting for the Caplin News.
Also this morning, Ukrainian students are feeling support from South Florida this morning after sharing their wartime experiences through an online event. Caplin News reporter Jan Preisler has the story.
Students at FIU had a rare opportunity last Thursday to meet face-to-face with students from Ukraine on Zoom, where they got a chance to connect and share their stories on fleeing their homes since the war broke out between Ukraine and Russia.
I'm sorry, I have goosebumps. I'm just like, I remember those moments and we were so afraid, and like the next moment when there was the first alarm around the city, this noise is, it's the most horrible noise that I've ever heard. It means basically that there are rockets directed on our city. After this first alert, my mother just said that I'm sorry, but you take your luggage and you go.
The event, hosted by Tuesday Times Roundtable and FIU's Office of Global Learning Initiatives, brought Ukrainian students now studying in Poland together with the South Florida community, with the goal to bring a better understanding of what's going on in Ukraine and how people are being impacted.
FIU community has better understanding of what the immigrants are Ukrainian immigrants, what they're going through, what they feel about the war and about their lives, and what we can do to support them.
Students had a chance to discuss ways to better support Ukrainians impacted by the war and shared their hopes for more opportunities like this one to spread awareness and to open new discussions.
Probably donate to national foundations from where government or volunteers buy everything that is needed for such civilians.
Talking about the current situation in Ukraine, the current war in Ukraine is very important. But I would also like people to get to know our culture better and our identity better.
Which is exactly what's in the planning, as these students give feedback on how to set up the next discussion, which will be announced in the fall. For Caplin News, I am Jan Preisler.
This morning, there's a new development in the case against the Parkland school resource officer. Scott Peterson is being accused of failing to confront the Parkland shooter during the 2018 shooting. Peterson's team wanted the jury to visit the outside of the school, but the judge ruled yesterday that the jury would not be able to.
Victory is now the only word that Dev Shaw can spell after winning the 2023 Scripps National Spelling Bee. The 14-year-old from Largo, Florida spelled the final word Samophile to take home the $50,000 prize. He is a former competitor in the spelling bee, taking part in 2019 and the 2021 editions of the bee, where he finished 51st and 76th.
The Marlins fell behind early to the visiting San Diego Padres.
That's still ahead, and so is this story.
And I state this quite frequently, kind of that societal trauma that everyone has faced has become sort of a ripple effect.
Care for mental health coming into sharp focus for college students. Newsbreak will be back in 2 minutes.
Severe weather can strike anytime, anywhere, but there's a simple way to stay safe. Hey, Jim Cantore here. I stay safe in dangerous weather by planning ahead. You can stay safe too with a few easy steps. Build an inexpensive kit with supplies for your family's needs. Write down important information like phone numbers and medications. Always talk with your family, and remember any pets in your planning. Be ready, be safe. Start your plan today at ready.gov/plan.
I don't know why you're so sad. You've got a roof over your head.
You gotta stop with that depression stuff. That's what white people think. You all right?
It just feels like it's coming from everywhere.
Do you want to talk about it?
You can talk to me if you're feeling sad.
Whenever you need to talk, I'm here, okay?
If you're buzzed and doing this, to make yourself feel okay to drive,
ZWX.
you're not okay to drive.
YGKLVW. Regular you.
Showing support on college campuses on the subject of mental health.
The goal is removing the stigma from mental health.
Caplin's Amanda Gray reports from West North Miami Beach.
Reports show that across the United States, universities are reporting a mental health epidemic amongst their undergraduate students.
According to a survey published by Gallup and the Lumina Foundation, 2 out of 5 undergraduate students say they frequently experience emotional stress while attending college. As a result, more than 40% of students surveyed say they have considered dropping out in the last 6 months. Some of the reasons highlighted in the study include personal mental health problems and workload fatigue.
When it comes to stress levels, I feel like we need to find a balance for all students, because there needs to be some challenge in college, but it also can't be your life. Like, you need to be able to have a life outside.
Experts say this growing epidemic may also be attributed to the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic.
There's always been responsibility that's been placed on shoulders of students in college. And with the pandemic especially, I think that sense of responsibility has been compounded by sort of and I state this quite frequently, kind of that societal trauma that everyone has faced has become sort of a ripple effect.
Young adults in the United States, aged 18 to 25, are being disproportionately affected by mental health issues. To combat this, universities are being encouraged to better understand the signs of a student struggling with mental health.
Yeah, I think that it is a responsibility of universities to encompass the mental health and to, facilitate support for their students if it's been a struggle to attend class, for example, or distractibility in class or things like that, handing in assignments late, that's often a sign that there's some anxiety or something going on.
Experts say that these mental health issues may cause future problems for these students. Reporting for Caplin News, I'm Amanda Gray.
The Miami Marlins collecting themselves after playing like a fish out of water against the San Diego Padres. They were the first to score in the third inning of the game, and that was also the last time the Fish made it back to home plate. The Padres, however, were dominant after the Marlins single, even scoring 7 runs in just 1 inning. The final score was Padres 10, Marlins 1. The Marlins will be expecting the Oakland Athletics tomorrow at 6:40 p.m.
That's all the time we have for Newsbreak. I'm Lauren Wirtz.
I'm Halwa Ezel. Get more news anytime at caplinnews.fiu.edu.